How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Infinite Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth to give you guys a recap of last night's game between the Yankees and the Angels, second game of a three-game set out in Anaheim. The Yankees winning a close ball game, 3-2. It got a little dicey in the ninth inning, and we'll get to that. But we had another great performance out of Carlos Rodón. Let's highlight that first, because Carlos Rodón over this stretch has been fantastic. And he has really pitched like an ace, which is what we all were hoping from him going into this year. Again, I hate to bring it up, but Garrett Cole being out for the year, we needed him to step up. And early on in the season, he had a couple of starts where, he didn't pitch well, a couple of mistakes. Jung-Hoo Lee had his number in his start against the Giants, but he has really been amazing. In his last 7 games, in his last 7 starts, he's 5-0 with a 1.44 ERA. And on the season now, so going into the game last night, I think he had a 2.88 ERA. Well, he finished with a 2.6 ERA. He left the game with a 2.6 ERA. He's now 7-3 on the season. And at the top of the rotation with him and Max Fried. So Rodón, 2.6 ERA through 72 and 2/3 innings pitched, 90 strikeouts, and he has a whip of .94. Max Fried, 1.29 ERA, 70 innings pitched, 67 strikeouts, and a .93 whip. So .01 less than Rodón. And Rodón is up there in strikeouts amongst pitchers in all of baseball. I'm trying to look at the numbers now. So Rodón is now tied for wins in Major League Baseball. He's tied with Max Fried for wins, his teammate, along with Robbie Ray, Brandon Pfaadt of the Diamondbacks, and Hunter Brown of the Astros. And then in all of baseball, he's 18th in ERA. In WHIP in all of baseball, he's in the top 10. He's 10th. Opponent's batting average leads all of baseball with a 164 batting average. And then close behind him, who the Yankees will see this weekend, is Yoshinobu Yamamoto at 170. But what more can you say about Rodón? And then last night, he pitched effectively, and the Yankees needed him to go a decent amount, give them length, because, once again, they were kind of shorthanded with the bullpen. Luke Weaver wasn't available last night, some of the other relievers as well. But he gave the Yankees 7 strong innings, giving up 5 hits, no runs, no walks. And that's been a problem for Rodón at times, walking guys. But that was not a problem last night. No walks, 10 strikeouts. And he made a good defensive play in the fourth inning. It was they called it a lefty jeter. It really wasn't a lefty jeter, but it was kind of an off-balance throw. It was a slow roller to the left side of the infield. Rodón was able to pick it up and throw it across his body. It skipped a little bit, but Goldschmidt made a nice play over at first base to get the out. That was the final out of the inning in the 4th. But he did well, and then he finished with 105 pitches, and Trent Grisham in the bottom of the 7th had a nice diving catch to save a hit. And Rodón did give up a hit in the inning, but like I said, he was able to get out of it, gave the Yankees 7 strong. Jonathan Loáisiga pitched the 8th inning, didn't give up any hits, and struck out a batter. And we'll get to Devin Williams in a minute, because he pitched the 9th inning. But not a lot of scoring in this game. The Yankees opened up the scoring with the Ben Rice homer, his 11th homer of the season in the top of the 4th inning. Then in the top of the 6th inning, Cody Bellinger reached on a fielding error, and he ended up on third base. It was misplayed out in the outfield. And then Anthony Volpe drove him in with an RBI single. And then in the top of the 7th, Oswald Peraza hits his 3rd homer of the season, and that put the Yankees up 3-0 at that point. So then we go to the 9th inning. Devin Williams comes in, and Devin Williams, as of late, has pitched very well. So I was hoping that, if he wants to earn the closer role back, I was hoping that, hey, this is his opportunity, because although he hasn't, blown a save, recently. But Luke Weaver's kind of been, struggling a little bit. So, maybe Devin Williams is saying, hey, this is my opportunity now. I'm pitching better. Luke Weaver, last couple games is struggling. He's not available. Let me show them that, hey, in case, that continues and I continue to pitch well, I can take the closer role back. So this was a big opportunity for him. He did not take advantage of that. No, it was a nail biter. He comes in the ninth inning, and first batter, he gives up a home run to Yoan Moncada to make it 3-1. Next batter's Taylor Ward. He singles. So first two batters, he doesn't even record an out. Does get Travis d'Arnaud to fly out to Trent Grisham. Then Luis Rengifo singles. So now you got two guys on base. Now, they were able to get the second out of the inning. Joe Adell grounded out, and they got the second out there. And then he ultimately got Logan O'Hoppe to pop out in foul territory to Peraza to end the game. But he didn't make it easy. He did not make it easy. And like I said, that was an opportunity for him to say, hey, I could be the closer again. But I think that just further shows that he sticks to the eighth inning and Luke Weaver is still the closer. And that's that. We cannot afford to have Devin Williams blowing games in the ninth inning. We just can't. Fortunately, the Yankees pulled the plug on that very quickly this year. They didn't wait till the summer like they did last year with Clay Holmes to say, you know what, maybe we should change what we're doing and maybe give somebody else a chance to close. And that kind of made a difference in, where they were playing games in the playoffs, particularly in the World Series. They jumped on it early. They said, put Luke Weaver in. He's the closer, and we'll have Devin Williams try to figure it out in the earlier innings. And I guess where he's going to be is in the seventh or the eighth inning. I think they have the formula. Luke Weaver's pitching the ninth. Devin Williams will pitch the eighth. And then, you'll mix in Mark Leiter Jr. And Loizaca's just coming back. But you figure Loizaca's going to factor in some of these, between the seventh and, the ninth inning more. I mean, again, we saw that last night because the Yankees were kind of shorthanded. They didn't use Mark Leiter Jr. either. So they got the formula. And, you're looking for some of these other relievers to kind of get it going again. Tim Hill, because, the Yankees, he's their only lefty in the bullpen. I know De Los Santos has been doing okay. He's kind of gotten himself into trouble at times, but, he's got a decent ERA right now. They're waiting on Jake Cousins to come back, but, he's not a guy that's going to pitch in these later innings usually. He's going to be one of those middle relievers. But, you're hoping Ian Hamilton can try to find it because he's been struggling. So, yeah. But Devin Williams almost gave us another heart attack last night. And I kept saying as I was watching the ninth inning unfold, I was like, do not blow this game because now Yankee fans, they've warmed up to you because, of how you've pitched lately. And now you're going to completely set yourself back if you blow this game. Because now everybody's going to be saying, trade this guy. Simple. He can't pitch the ninth inning. Until he shows that, which might not be at all this year, I don't want him anywhere near closing games. Now, if, you have a situation like last night where Luke Weaver's not available, I get it. But other than that, or knock on wood, Luke Weaver gets hurt or something, Devin Williams should not be closing the ninth inning. Shouldn't. But the Yankees were able to get the win. They now improve to 34-20 on the season. So now a season high 14 games over 500, 7 games up on the Rays in the AL East. They've won 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10 games. on this current road trip, they are now 4-1, and they got a chance for a sweep tonight with Clark Schmidt, who was not great against the Rockies on Friday. So looking for him to bounce back. And they will be going up against the left-hander Yusei Kikuchi, who they've kind of had a problem with in the past. And he's 1-4 with a 3.17 ERA. Clark Schmidt 1-2 with a 4.58 ERA. Game is again 9:38 p.m. Eastern time, and that'll be the final game. They'll be off tomorrow, and they will still be out in LA because they will be taking on the Dodgers next. And right now, the Yankees don't have any listed starters. I mean, Max Fried will be pitching in this series. I think we might be seeing Yarborough. I was hoping Rodón was going to be able to pitch in this series, but I think the Dodgers will just miss him. But right now, the Dodgers, they have Tony Gonsolin going on Friday. They have Landon Knack on Saturday. And then they have Yoshinobu Yamamoto on Sunday. So that's going to be a very tough game because he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's got a sub-2 ERA on the season, 1.97. He's been very good. And, you know, we'll talk more about the Dodgers series, obviously, when we preview it. But they got a lot of pitchers on the IL. I know we covered that, I think, on one of the previous podcasts. So that's coming up. But, you know, Yankees have done well on this road trip. Again, don't want to be greedy, but I'm going to. They should have swept the Rockies. If they lose tonight, you know, so be it. I don't want them to. Hopefully they can get the sweep of the Angels. And you just keep it going. As we're doing this podcast right now, the Red Sox are in progress. They're in a tie ball game with the Brewers. Christian Yelich hit a walk-off grand slam off of them yesterday. But yeah, that's going into the top of the 8th right now. The Orioles play tonight against the Cardinals, who are doing well so far, and the Orioles are not. 19-35 on the season. The Blue Jays continuing their series with the Rangers, and the Rays right now, they're up 4-0, bottom of the 8th against the Twins. They're 27-27 on the season. But look, we keep saying it. Yankees are in a good spot right now. They're pitching really well. The offense, I mean, they haven't really exploded in this series, but they've gotten the timely hits, and they took another series. So that's what you got to keep doing. You know, getting sweeps is obviously tough. You know, but if you take a series, that's what you want. That's what you want. Just keep doing that. And that's what I'm hoping for this weekend against the Dodgers. You know, take at least 2 games. You know, Sunday's going to be very tough with Yamamoto, but I think, you know, depending on what the Max Fried, I think, is pitching one of the 2 games. So usually when he pitches, they win. So take one of those games and, you know, maybe take the middle game, and then, you know, whatever happens Sunday. But, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But this Yankees team is very good. They're playing some good baseball right now. And, yeah, just a long road trip. And I'll be seeing them next week when they take on the Red Sox for the first time. Very late start taking on the Red Sox. I mean, it's going to be June. You know, we're now going into the 3rd full month of the baseball season, and they haven't even played their arch rivals yet. Rivalry's not really the same as it once was, but yeah, I mean, and obviously when you have everybody playing everyone now, that decreased the amount of divisional games. So, yeah, that's kind of why you're getting this. But yeah, let's go Yankees though for tonight. You know, we'll talk about that Red Sox series next week. We'll talk about the Dodgers series either tomorrow or Friday. We'll preview it. We'll take a look at the pitching matchups as well when they're finalized. I read off the Dodgers pitchers that were announced, but I know we're definitely getting Max Fried in this series. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about the game from last night. What were your takeaways from it? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to us. We also have that in the description, as well as our TikTok account as well. So make sure to give that a follow. So until next time, I'm Kenneth Gruenfelder signing off. Have a good one, and I will talk to you guys next time.